The Hugh Jackman Diaries.
I was hanging with my old drinking buddy, Rupert Murdoch. He's a good guy, Rube. Bit too much of a hippie for my liking, but what can you do? We were hanging out on the roof of his News Corp building, drinking and throwing things over the edge, just to see what would happen. We couldn't carry office machinery up there, so we had to make do with the next best thing. Lunches from the staff fridge. My favourite ones were the vegetarian ones. Salad rolls and that. They actually shattered. Windscreens, that is. The most disappointing lunches to throw off rooftops onto traffic were the ones in Tupperware containers. Lifetime guarantee, my ass. Roop said, "This is boring, let's go buy something." We went to his office. He gave me a dart and told me to throw it at his map of the world. It hit Tahiti. Roop picked up the phone, called up Tahiti, and bought the whole country off the poor Tahitians for $10 billion. We high-fived. We waited 2 minutes. Then he called up again, negotiated for a minute, and sold the country back to them for $20 billion. Roop, what a guy. He sure knows how to shop. Then he said, "Let's blow this joint." We grabbed a 6-pack of tinnies out of the bar fridge and jumped in the back of his chauffeur-driven panel van. We drove around, sinking tinnies and smoking rollies. He had a hell of a sound system in there. We listened to some of his collection of tapped phone conversations. Leonardo DiCaprio talking dirty to Angela Lansbury. Lance Armstrong trying to score dope for a mate of his in the Vatican. Even me old mate Neighbours actor Stephen Dennis trying to order Indian takeaway, his favourite meal, 50 papadums. We drove past the MCG. I told Roop how I've always wanted to sing the national anthem at the footy. Roop told the driver to drive to the front gate. To the sound of things hitting the bonnet, we forged a path through the crowds to the front gate. I jumped out. Roop said he'd see me in there. He just had to go by one of them giant inflatable hands. The guy at the turnstile asked to see my ticket. I pointed to my face and said, "There's my ticket." Then I pointed at his face and said, "There's my ashtray," and stubbed me rolly out on his chrome dome forehead. Don't tell me, bald men aren't good for anything. I was in the MCG. I was finally going to sing the national anthem. But before any anthem could get sung, one thing needed to be done. Heavy drinking. I ran down a corridor and saw a room. The long room. Some old dude said I needed a tie to get in. I said, "No worries. Give me 20 minutes and I can have one of them ladyboys here. I just need to borrow your phone and call Wilbur Wild. He'll help you out." He said, "It's for members only." I said, "I got one of them too, bud, and it's named after this room." He said, "No." I said, "What's this?" and pointed to his chest. He looked down. I slapped him in the face. He said he'd call security. I said, "What are you going to call them? A bunch of dweebs?" I pissed myself laughing. I saw me old mate Sheeds walking up. I told him I was having trouble getting into the long members room. He said he'd help me out. First, I had to keep the door dude distracted. He opened his jacket and revealed 2 bottles of red he was going to smuggle in. With my wit and natural charm, I tackled the door dude to the ground, sat on his head and farted. "Consider him distracted, Sheeds," I said. The door dude said something about "ouch, something please, something something ambulance." Sheeds waved me in. The long members room was full of stiffs. Reminded me of the vampire extras on the set of my blockbuster Van Helsing. They needed something to liven them up. If it's vampire hunters they want, it's vampire hunters they shall have. I didn't have a Van Helsing sword, so I grabbed some old cricket bat from a glass display cabinet, along with a bottle of chartreuse from the bar, and leapt onto one of the leather couches and twirled the sword over my head, Van Helsing style. Then Sheeds jumped onto the other end of the couch. He was in his undies. They were his treasured, randy, Macho Man Savage undies. "You're going down, Van Helsing," he said, and then jumped toward me, Macho Man style. I deflected him and tried to body slam him. So, there I am, twirling an antique cricket bat above my head, holding a bottle of chartreuse, wrestling with Kevin Sheeds Sheedy in his Macho Man underpants on a leather couch at the long room at the MCG. One of the stiffs told us to stop because they were trying to watch the game. The game. It had already started. I suplexed Sheeds, then ran out to the ground. Yes, the game was on, but the players would understand. The ground was packed. The fans come to the football to see megastars sing the national anthem. There was no time to learn the words of the anthem, but I knew the next best thing. The song "Are You Dead Yet" by Children of Bodom. With chartreuse and cricket bat raised above my head, singing "Are You Dead Yet" at the top of my voice, I jumped the fence and made for the centre square. The crowd went wild. I looked over my shoulder. I saw Roop in the crowd. A pot of mid-strength in one hand and a giant inflatable hand in the other. He was trying to start a Mexican wave. Security was chasing after me. Next thing, we're all playing the game. A stack's on. I heard an announcement about pitch invasions, but the announcement was drowned out by the roar of the crowd. After all, they'd just seen the greatest entertainer in the world on the hallowed turf of the MCG, all singing, all dancing, vampire hunting and wrestling megastar, Hugh Jackman.
The Hugh Jackman Diaries.